If you guys have seen my channel for a while now, you guys know that I'm definitely no stranger to injury. I have dealt with many injuries over many years of doing sports. And one of the injuries that I always kind of deal with and I always have flare-ups with, or I've had pretty significant injuries with, is my back. So your core is so important. Like your core and your back are so important when it comes to playing sports or doing sports. And especially if you're doing CrossFit, you need that core, that strength in your core to do a lot of movements. And you also want to make sure that you have really good core stability. So in today's video, I wanted to show you guys some exercises for your core to help prevent injury. So without further ado, let's get into some of those exercises. Okay, so we've moved down to the floor and I'm going to show you guys the exercise. Today I'm going to have David do the exercises for you. He's going to be my little exercise man. So let's get into the first exercise. So the first exercise is more of a stretch, and this is just one of my favorite stretches to do to really get some mobility in my back. Stretching is super important to help prevent injury. This is just one that I really love to do because it just helps get so much more mobility in my back. And it is cat-cow. If you guys have done yoga, you guys have probably seen this before. It's where you breathe deeply and you extend, so go down. Breathe in, and then you want to breathe out when you go up. So you curl your back up, and you want to curl, stretch all the way through your arms, and you want to continue that a couple times. You want to go down, really push out those hips, push down here, make sure you're stretching all through your upper back, especially for someone like me. I have a really stiff upper back, and it feels really good to just stretch that, and you keep doing that. You go up, you squeeze the core out, you exhale, and then you come back down, and you stretch out. I absolutely love doing this. This is one of my favorite ones. You can also bring your neck up a little bit when you breathe in, and when you extend in, you want to bring your head in towards you. Okay, so the next exercise is bird dog. This is such a great stabilization exercise. You want to take your opposite arm and to your opposite leg, and you want to extend out one at a time. And you want to do this kind of controlled. It's a little hard, we have the whole wall right there, but you want to do this with a control, and you want to switch. So you want to switch one side, bring it back in, and do the other. And you want to make sure that your hips are staying even. You don't want to be shifting your weight too far. You want to keep a good control in your movement like that. And this is really great to help with core stabilization. You want to make sure when you're going out, you're not caving in your back. You're keeping your core really tight, because if David does it, don't hold your core and go out. So you're gonna kind of like lose your hip drops, and your core isn't stable. So this is something that you really want to work on, controlling your core and keeping it tight. So something to make sure that you're doing it a little more stabilized and you're keeping your back tight is I like to add a ball just to add in a little bit control, especially if you're doing this alone. You know, you might want to see how you're doing control. So you want to go out nice and slow and make sure you're not shifting your back too much, and come back in. Try the other side. This is a really great way. You don't want the ball to fall off of your back. You want to make sure that you're extending out as much as you can. We have a wall right here, so it's pretty hard for David to stick out his leg completely straight, but this is another great way to make sure that your back isn't shifting too much. So the next one is something super simple that we have all done before, and it is a plank. Most effectively, you want to go onto your elbows, and you just want to go into a plank position. This is like the best exercise to do to get so strong in your core and to help stabilize your core. So the next exercise is something that is more for your glutes, but it does help strengthen your core quite a bit and help strengthen your back quite a bit, and is glute bridges. So basically, you just want to lift your butt off of the floor, make sure your feet are planted, squeeze those glutes. This is something that is really great for strengthening your core. You can do a couple reps, nice, slow, and controlled. Also, one that is going to really make sure that you have good core stability is doing single leg glute bridges. So it's lifting one leg in the air and pushing up with your hips and squeezing with your butt and coming back down and pushing back up. And of course, you want to make sure that you're not shifting too much. You want to make sure you have that core stability and you're doing it evenly on each side and you're not shifting at all, and you're pushing upward with your glutes, keeping that core nice and tight, and coming back down nice, slow, and controlled. So the next exercise is like my favorite one, and it is probably the one that you can do so many variations with, and this is probably like the #1 exercise to help with core stability, and this is Deadbug. I love the names for these, they're so funny. So what you do is you lift your arms and your legs up in the air. And you want to drop, it's similar to bird dog, you want to drop your opposite arm to your opposite leg. So you want to drop one down at a time and come back up, and do the other side and come back up. So you want to really make sure that you have really strong core stability and really good control when doing this. So there are variations to do this if you cannot hold your core strong enough. So if you are doing what David just did and your back is arching, that means your core is not strong enough. So what you want to do, this is some variations, is that you can just do your legs. You want to put your arms next to your side to kind of help support the lower back. You want to keep your core nice and strong, lift your legs in the air, and you can either just do leg raises or just one leg at a time. This is really going to help. And then when you feel more comfortable, you can lift your arms in the air and just do your legs instead of dropping your arms and your legs. And then there's so many variations to make this a little bit harder if you want to. One of the most basic, I guess, more harder variations to do of Deadbug is with a plate or a dumbbell. So you hold the plate in your arms. So you're gonna raise your legs in the air, and then you're just gonna hold the plate over your head and then drop your legs. So one at a time, just like that. So you drop one leg and then the other. And then if you wanna make it more difficult, you can drop the plate with one leg at a time, just like that, and bring it back up. You don't wanna rest the plate at all on the ground. You wanna come back up and hold it just above. This is really great to help strengthen your core, and is just a way to make it just a little more difficult. The last exercise is something that we see quite often in CrossFit, and this is hollow holds and Supermans. This is more specifically for CrossFit, but it will help a lot with core stabilization. So you want to lay on your back. So this is the hollow hold. So you want to have your legs straight, your arms over your head, and you want to just raise your arms off the floor and raise your feet off the floor just a little bit into a hollow hold. You want to make sure that you're not arching your back. That is a big no-no. So you want to make sure your core is tight and you're staying really, really tight and holding here super, super tight for as long as you can. You also want to make sure that your arms are next to your ears. You don't want them way in front of you, and you don't want them resting on the ground. You want to keep it here. You want to hold that hollow position. And then, so it's just like that lovely position here that David is doing. How lovely are ya? So then you want to switch around onto your stomach for the Superman. So flip around, David. And it is just the kind of opposite of what you did in the Superman. You want to raise your arms above your head and your feet off of the ground. Something to make it a little more difficult is to push your ankles together if you can. But this is really great to help strengthen your back, especially your lower back. Because a lot of times if our backs aren't strong, we tend to compensate with our lower back, which does lead to injury. I've dealt with that many times. So you want to really make sure that your lower back is good and strong. You good? Are you gonna do the worm? You could have just done the worm there, you know?
Yeah, but I was gonna hollow rock, a Superman rock.
Okay, that was a bit extreme. So of course, I want to say a big thank you to David for helping me do the exercises, and I hope I wasn't talking too weird. If you guys didn't see my last video, well, I had a tooth pulled out and it's been kicking my butt. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to see a video of more shoulder stabilization, on how to get better shoulder stabilization, or my top stretches that I do for an overall body stretch, let me know down below. I can definitely do those videos for you. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys do these exercises to help prevent injury, because we do not want injury. And if you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. It really does help the channel a lot. And if you're not already subscribed, hit the subscribe button down below. You guys know where it is. And don't forget to be unstoppable, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.
Summer days burn me out, love just brings me down. Cold inside like winter leaves that slowly leave the ground. Hey, you come back, I wanna give you a chance. Love me like you used to, so we can learn again. The skin is getting brown, baby, drink your night.